Is 2025 going to be an amazing year for independent game developers? I have no idea, and probably nobody has any idea on that whatsoever, but I am going to find out if I can turn around my current situation. If you haven't seen last week's video, go check it out. I need to release games this year, and I really need to make some very good plans for this year. And that's what this video is about. Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel, and welcome to the first video of the new year. Season 6, Season 7. I think this is my 7th season doing weekly videos. Insane. But here we go. New season, first video of the year. Let's talk about my plans for 2025. So if you have not watched last week's video, last year was a terrible year. For Orangepixel, that means this year I need to make stuff happen. I haven't been in this situation before. So it's going to be interesting a couple of months and videos, I hope. I need to release shit. I need to release games. Let's call them games. I simply need to release games this year. It's been too long and I've been creating games that were too big. I need to make them faster and more efficiently. I think that's a better word to describe it. Efficiently. Luckily, I have plans and I have stuff. I'm just going to ramble through it all. We all have better things to do on this first Thursday of the year. I'm recording this on Monday. I have a couple of days where I'm not doing a lot, and then this video goes live. So I want to actually work on my games today. Let's talk about the stuff I'm going to release. First up is Regulators, the game formerly known as Regulator City. I dropped the city because over time the whole city aspect I had for this game vanished from the game. I don't think having city in the name is a good thing, because people might think it's still some sort of city management, which was originally part of the plan, but I removed it from the game. So drop that. It's now called Regulators, new artwork. Still have to make a trailer. Game is done. Need to test it, need to play test it a little bit more, and need to set a release date. So that's going to be released on Steam at least in the first half of the year. So stay tuned for that one. Gauntlet of Power, released that on Steam last year, coming to Switch this year, coming to mobile later this year. So the Switch version, currently testing it. I don't have my Switch here. I'm testing it right now. Serious Lion is doing the porting for that version. It's almost there. Also have a web version up and running. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, but it's up and running. So I have it for a lot of different platforms, and it's coming to a couple of them this year. That brings me to my new project, Space Grunt 3. I've been working on that the last couple of weeks, and it's starting to become an actual playable game. I'll probably have some footage on screen right now. I've been adding a lot of things and focusing on being efficient on how I build stuff, and I'm going to do more videos on all of that. The idea here is that I have it up and running to a quality level that I can release it in Steam Next Fest in February, end of February, early March. That's pretty soon. So Space Grunts is gonna have all my focus for the next coming weeks. I need to make sure it's at a good level, that it's actually interesting and impressive to play as a demo and not just a very weak early alpha, beta, crappy prototype release, but something that looks playable. Because even though we as developers know the difference between an early prototype or an early version and a release version, gamers do not. Even if you tell them, they don't understand the steps or the changes that will be made between now and when I release it. So I have to make sure the game is at a releasable state almost, or looks like a releasable state, maybe lacking content, but I think gamers will understand that. But you can't lack features, because gamers do not understand that. So all the features have to be in there, and people have to be able to enjoy the demo. If I fail on that deadline for February, it will be June. I might then do a Kickstarter just to see if that works. Did a Kickstarter before for Residual back in 2019 or 20, not sure. That actually achieved its goal and then found a publisher. Not looking for a publisher on this game. I don't think publishers are interested in games like this, but that's also going to be part of my whole 2025 plan. I'm not looking to make games that are big hit games. That's just chasing something that's not gonna be, that's just not valid. And I know a lot of game developers are still thinking or looking at the hit games and see the potential there and think that's what they have to achieve. But you don't have to achieve that, and I've been falling in that pit as well a little bit, creating bigger games and hoping for certain results. But Gauntlet of Power released last year. I think we're now at a little over 1,000 sales, which is very low, but it's enough if you can make games like that in 4, 5, 6 months and you can get those results. It's a viable business, and that's where I have to go back to, because I have always been doing it like that in the early days or in the first 15 years. Last 5 years it's been a little bit messed up, having a publisher on a game that just changed the whole game, then having another game, Regulators, which has funding behind it, which also is a very different thing. I will at some point do a video on that, because you might think having funding for a game is a good thing, but I also noticed a bunch of negatives from that, and negative things. And not because the funding company or what they wanted, or they didn't want anything from the game, they just wanted to be released. But for me, there is a lot of negativity on having money up front. So I'm gonna do a video on that eventually, I think. But for this year, my plan is not to search for publishers and all those things. That's not gonna work for my type of games. I heard too many no's from publishers, and I know they're not looking for my smaller type games. And for my bigger games, it would be too risky for me to invest so much time and energy and then maybe find a publisher, but most likely not find a publisher, and then I have wasted so much time on a very big project. So I have to be smart about these things again, and that's going to be the biggest change for me in the coming year. And I already have a couple of game ideas ready to dive into after Space Grunts, and that's really how I'm gonna tackle this year. Also trying to ignore all the people that say my games are too simple, are too pricey, are too similar, whatever. That's your opinion, that's fine, but some people like these games and I just have to reach those kind of people. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into all of that. There were some comments here and there, and I had so many positive comments on last week's video, and then there were just 1 or 2, maybe 3 comments that just, they linger on, and that shouldn't happen because there were so many positive comments. Let's focus on those. Thanks for everybody who dropped a comment last week on the video. 21st year of Orangepixel, me doing it full time, it's still crazy. But we're gonna go for it. So those are my plans for the games. Let's talk a little bit about this YouTube channel. So usually I set out a lot of plans for the YouTube channel. This year I'm not gonna do that at all. So I have ideas for videos and all those things, but YouTube is not my main thing. I'm not selling courses on here. I'm not giving you constant videos with information and tips on how to do it while I'm not actually doing it, like so many other game dev YouTubers that only released 1 or maybe 2 games and then somehow have all the experience to create multiple videos in a week telling you how to do it. That's the blind leading the blind, I think. I'm not gonna do all that stuff on here. My main focus is getting games out the door, and my videos will be about that. It will be about the business, it will be about the games being made and fun things around it. It might actually happen this year that some weeks I have nothing to show you or talk about and not upload a video. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. I might just do anything that's maybe like 1 minute. Even that would be better. Because I've been on a 6-year weekly video streak, it would be a bit crappy to miss out on a Thursday, I think. But it could happen. So YouTube is still, it's gonna be part of my day-to-day stuff. Every now and then it will just me be talking to you with very little gameplay videos. Again, for the few comments here and there from people telling me that's a boring video, go watch something else. I'm not forcing you to watch these videos and click on them every week. You're doing that yourself. I decide what I put out there and you decide if you watch it or not. And if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I don't want to create the stuff you prefer because I want to create the stuff I like to create. So again, another comment, why do negative comments always linger on much more than all the positive stuff? I'm not sure. It's our brain doing weird things. Anyway, got a bunch of ideas for YouTube. I'm just not sure if I can make them happen. Had these ideas almost every year. Right now a cool idea would be to just sit and play my own game from start to finish, complete my own game, and then have a video, and in that video I could talk about the game, certain design decisions, development, difficulties, how the game did, how I'm happy with the game or not anymore, how I would change it now. It would be a very interesting series of videos. I'm just not sure if I have the time to record those videos. So I'm now just writing it down as an idea and I'm giving it to you as an idea. I'm just not sure if it's gonna happen at all. Every now and then I might do some interesting tip videos like all the other channels do, but I'm pretty much done with that, and I've given all the tips from experience and not just rehashing other people's ideas or my opinions on what could probably work, even though I haven't really tried it myself. I'm done with those type of videos. So yeah, it's just gonna be behind the scenes like I used to set out on this channel. And if that means not everybody watches anymore, that's fine. I'm still enjoying myself creating these videos. Okay, so YouTube, games all done. I have the web games plan still going. HTML5 games, still working on games. I actually have Stardash almost up and running now. We'll do a couple of other games, but it's more a side project, hobby thing right now because I'm not sure where to go with it. I think I have somebody who wanted to talk about investment. So I might just do that conversation and see what comes out of it, but I'm pretty sure they would need some sort of plan on how this could grow and potentially get their investment back with profit. And I'm not sure how. I have some ideas that might work, and they might be interested taking a gamble on that. We'll see. I think it's still very interesting if I could build up that platform on the Orangepixel website, have people subscribe to it, have games available there, do it in combination with videos where I create a game, show you how to create a game, maybe even have the source code available. I think that could be interesting for a certain group of people. There's a lot of things there, so I don't want to abandon that. But I also cannot focus fully on the whole web games, Orangepixel Play Portal. I should also find a better name for that, shorter. I can't just focus on that completely. So games are my priority right now. I'm building them in a fast and efficient way. And luckily, this is where my experience is actually a skill that I can use, because I can build these games based on all the things I've already done in other games. I know how to build certain systems, and I know how to create certain game designs and know certain elements and how to grab certain things and combine them all in a fun game. And if I don't remember a certain thing, I can just dig up the code from one of my existing games and modify it for the new game. So this is really how I should use my experience and my whole backlog of game designs and games to quickly build games. The idea is to release 3 new games this year. Space Grunts. I'm thinking a new Gunslugs. Just a 2D platformer. I know that's not the best idea in the world, but I have some twists and turns and I can create that pretty fast. And besides that, I might do something in the Ash world. Not a new Ash world per se, but I know people like building and hunting for food and resources, and Ash world would be a perfect fit for that. I have a bunch of stuff already, all these characters and graphics and environment and storyline, enemies, bad things that happen in the night. I could all leverage that into something like that. Although my experience with those type of games is just not big enough. So I first need to figure out what makes these games tick, or what gets all these players interested in these type of games. What are the actual mechanics of building, crafting, thingy games? I have to figure that out so I can actually create a new Ash World game or new world, or a new game in the Ash World. And that's my main 3 ideas for this year for the new games. On top of that, I hope Gunpower on Switch, maybe Space Grunts on Switch later this year. If all these things work out and pan out, I should be fine for this year. But it's still right now. It's exciting. It's a bit scary, but it's interesting. I'm just working as efficiently and quickly as possible, and really focusing on the work that needs to be done and ignoring everything that's outside of that bubble. And we'll see by the end of the year, or maybe sooner, I'll know if this all works out or not. And if I don't know, at some point I might just go offline and be done with all of this and find another job or something. I have no idea how this is really back against the wall, and let's fight for it. And that's where I am now. So that's going to be interesting. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, this year is going to be the year that you need to be subscribed, because this is an all or nothing year for me, and gonna be interesting videos either way. So make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. I'm gonna end it here because I want to work on Space Grunts a little bit more, and I have an afternoon and tomorrow morning, and that's all I have. One day this week to work on the game, and I'm gonna use that one day the fullest. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, all those things. See you in next week's video. All right. Bye.